Hello and welcome. I'm Jill Adams, one of the 4 TAD teachers working with elementary TAD. In this video, you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at Wicomico County's Gifted and Talented program. We'll walk you through what TAD is all about, introduce you to our teaching team, share this year's exciting units, answer some of the most common questions, and let you know how to sign up. Our elementary TAD team is made up of 4 teachers, Mrs. Kristen Briggs, Mrs. Ashley Thompson, Mrs. Jen Watson, and myself. We're here to support you, so please don't hesitate to reach out with questions. On the slide, you can see which teacher works with each school. It's always good to know who your go-to person is. So what is TAD? TAD stands for Thinking and Doing, and that's exactly what students will be doing. This program is designed to challenge our gifted learners by sharpening critical thinking skills, strengthen communication and leadership, and creating authentic projects that connect the real world to community partners. In short, TAD is where curiosity meets creativity and action. Each year, we explore 3 engaging units filled with hands-on learning and big ideas. You'll find everything you need on Google Classroom and our Weebly sites. Lessons are fun and interactive with lots of chances to work in small groups and share your ideas. Every unit ends with a hands-on culminating activity that connects learning to the real world through problem-based projects. Students will put their creativity and problem-solving skills to the test. Here's what you can expect for TAD class. We meet once each cycle for 2 hours. Students should come ready to learn, contribute to discussions, and share what they discover at home. A 1-inch binder with 25 sheet protectors helps keep materials organized. And we use Google Classroom for assignments. Each unit has its own Weebly site packed with resources. Students who regularly talk about what they're learning and explore the Weebly tend to gain a deeper understanding of the content. Yes, there will be homework, but students get a full week to complete it. Completing home tasks, being engaged in lessons, and maintaining a 3.0 GPA are necessary to participate in TAD. Now let's talk about what the students are most excited about this year's units.
Have you ever looked at a building and thought, what were they thinking? In our architecture unit, you'll find out. We'll explore the purpose, appearance, and strength of some of the world's most famous structures and the architects that designed them. Then you'll step into the shoes of an architect. First, you'll design a vacation home for a client, and later you'll take on a real community challenge. What should we do with a vacant lot in our own town? You'll research, plan, and work with your TAG group to create a proposal that meets the needs of real stakeholders. Finally, you'll design an original building that follows community standards, write the reasoning behind your choices, and present your plan to actual architects and community leaders. If you want to think creatively, solve real-world problems, and leave your mark on the future, this is the unit for you.
Hi, I'm Jen Watson, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about our second unit. We'll kick off our genetics adventure by exploring some features that make each of us unique. Students will discover how certain traits like curly hair or freckles can be passed down from parents and which ones are dominant and which are recessive. Next, we'll dive into the invisible world of genetics, like blood types. Students will become scientists, testing synthetic blood samples to solve the mystery of which blood type is which. We will delve deeper into the complex topic of gene therapy. Students will gather research and participate in an informal debate on the topic of gene therapy. From genes to groceries, we'll shift our focus to the food we eat, exploring the world of genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, versus non-GMOs. Students will step into the shoes of farmers, scientists, or consumers to discuss the pros and cons. Then, cue the suspense music. It's time for a genetics whodunit. Students will become DNA detectives, analyzing evidence from a crime scene simulation to crack the case using everything they've learned. Lastly, to wrap up our genetics journey, we are hoping to plan a field trip to a local higher learning community center for hands-on learning experiences in a lab setting with experts in their field.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Thompson. Are you a budding artist, curious about current events, or do you like to share your opinion? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then congratulations. You're already on the road to becoming an editorial cartoonist. Editorial cartoonists combine art, ideas, and opinions to comment on what's happening in the world. They take big, complicated issues and break them down into one powerful image that makes people stop, think, sometimes even laugh. In this unit, we'll learn how to read editorial cartoons like detectives, uncovering the hidden symbols and messages. Next, you'll have a chance to practice and perfect your drawing skills as you learn to create caricatures. We'll learn how to draw emotions so your characters don't just sit on the page, they speak without words. And we'll incorporate settings that bring your ideas to life. Finally, we'll be creating our own original cartoons. This is where everything comes together, your ideas, your techniques, and your drawings, into powerful, creative editorials that share your voice with the world.
We're excited for your child to experience the challenge and creativity of TAD. Our units go beyond the regular classroom curriculum, opening the door to fresh topics and new ways of thinking. We encourage students to give it a try. You never know what new interests might spark. And if this year isn't the right time, no worries. Students will be invited back next school year. Even if they try TAD and later decide it's not the best fit, the invitation will still be open for the following year. TAD doesn't receive grades. Instead, at the end of each unit, students receive an evaluation that highlights their progress. If you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to one of the TAD teachers. We're here to help. Here's what some of our past students have shared about their TAD experience. We can't wait to learn more and explore with your child this year. Please use the QR code to let us know your decision to accept or decline. Thank you for partnering with us. We're looking forward to an exciting year ahead.